Hello everybody and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some new update information regarding Tezos, as well as the exchange Kraken and something major that happened with them in regarding to the banking system that is actually historic information for you guys to know, because it's the first of what we will likely see many more instances start to come up in the future. And these are all baby steps as we become more and more adopted into the world of cryptocurrency, as well as we're going to take a quick look at Yearn.Finance and Orchid, our baby, my baby at least. I really love this project, and also taking a look a bit at Bitcoin and some of the charts. So if you guys are new to the channel and you guys enjoy this content, or you want to see more cryptocurrency technical analysis, news, information, stuff like that, I try to upload a video every day. I might take one day off during the week, but I've been consistently doing a video per day. So feel free to subscribe, feel free to hit the like button, and drop a comment down below at some point and let me know if any of this stuff really fascinated you. Share with everybody else, including me, what of this information you're like, whoa, that really caught my eye and that caught my ear. So first thing, let's go ahead and talk about with the Tezos, right? So this is under an experimentation right now, but they're looking to use this in a way to kind of make the digital euro as far as for France. So the Société Générale Forge experiment aims to study the feasibility of digital processing and delivery of financial securities using the central bank's digital currency, with a pool of technology providers and consultants to assist in the development. Nomadic Labs, which is one of the largest development companies in the Tezos ecosystem and is heavily involved in the development of the Tezos protocol, is one of these companies. According to the announcement, Société Générale Forge chose Tezos for several reasons: its on-chain governance, proof-of-stake consensus model, and verified smart contracts. Nomadic Labs commented on their appointment to the digital euro projects as follows. And then they have some more information here. This is through crypto-news-flash.com. I will try and keep a link of this for you guys actually in this video. Let me set that off to the side there for you, so that I don't forget. And if you guys want to go read further on that article, you guys are more than welcome to. Looking at Tezos, you can see as far as CoinMarketCap goes, just a slight little increase. It's right around the $2.54 range. We pull back the chart here to all-time history, basically when it first launched back in June of 2018. It had a big drop. It was $4.41 at that point in time. And the all-time high was $4.48, August 13th of this year. So according to this, it's actually pushing it back more towards this recent time. The all-time high is when it lists it for this stuff. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but it seems kind of wonky with CoinMarketCap. I would assume that a $4.30 price point is, well, I mean, it's lower than this, but it's a $4.48 for August 13th. Where? You know, I see right here, $4.32. Oh, wait, is that technically higher? Yeah. I don't know, it's close. It's throwing me off. It looks so close, but it doesn't seem like it's above this line, and I don't think it is. Anyways, so the point is, then we take a look at this, it's slightly up, but it does have more growth potential behind itself. Sorry for kind of stumbling over myself, guys, but don't worry, we're getting right back on track with this. So Tezos itself has a lot of potential. We're going to take a look at the actual chart here in just a second. Tezos, aka XTZ, and show you what we're kind of looking at on that. Talking about Yearn.Finance. So Yearn just recently went on to Coinbase, right? And how is it actually doing? Well, it's up a bit, but not at its actual peak. So it's had a little bit of a recline back into its position here, $36,405, up 0.96%. You can see that it was up to right around almost $40,000. And over the last day, this is something really to keep in mind. It's really volatile. I mean, you can get in with this, but you're looking at down here at a price point of $31,000, and then up to where it's at right now, $36,700, $5,000, $6,000 transitions based on a single day. So if you got a full one, this thing could keep mooning. It could tank tomorrow, and it could drop even harder, and then there's no guarantee in this kind of space that it's going to end up going back. You could drop from where it's at right now all the way down to, let's say, $10,000, And I mean, when are you going to be trying to look to try and take your profits? People might go in at the $10,000 range and just do back and forth trading between $10,000 and $15,000. So if you're only looking at this as saying, hey, if I buy it, right? Which I know some people that look at videos like this, they might be thinking that mentality, saying, hey, if I buy it right here, it goes back down to $31,000. Well, then I could just go ahead and sell it at $36,700, and the chances of it going back down, and then I'll just keep doing this thing over and over again. But you look at it on a small perspective, you look at it on a long-term perspective, yes, it has been going up, right? Oh, come on. Again, wonky. Thanks, CoinMarketCap. You do see it has steadily grown and move up, but what about this big period of time right here, right? So this time frame here went from a high, $34,000, all the way down to a low of $22,246. How much money are you willing to lose before you say like, yeah, it's going to go back up. It's going to be good, right? That's a lot of money for just one Yearn.Finance, but it's up to you guys. I'm not a financial advisor, so don't ask me for financial advice. If you want to invest in something like this, I'm just letting you know it is really volatile. There are not very many of them. Total supply 30,000. I talked a little bit more about this in a previous video. If you guys want to go check that out, just be sure to go over to my channel. And I make a fun comparison to an actual silver coin. I think it was gold and silver coin, but it was something with an eagle. You can see it. So let's go ahead and cross that off the list. And now with Kraken, what is going on with them? So Kraken is an exchange which you could buy cryptocurrencies on, similar to like Coinbase. And Kraken is available to people in the United States. And so this is actually based out in Wyoming. Kraken becomes the first crypto exchange to become a United States bank. Well, how can they become a bank, right? Well, we got to clarify that a little bit more. So it's a SPDI bank. So SPDI banks can hold digital assets, but will never have legal ownership over those assets. So this is suggesting you still own those assets. This means that even if a SPDI bank goes bankrupt, those assets have to be returned to customers. Whereas a trust company can have its assets claimed by a judge during bankruptcy. So if you put your assets with a trust company, which there are many that are out there right now, and many people have been doing this for a long time, and what ends up happening? Bankruptcies occur and people lose their money. I mean, you go to them and you're like, I want my money back. Well, that's not how it works, right? So the SPDI, they're a little bit of a different system. SPDI banks have to provide a Merkle tree to their auditor so they can cryptographically verify that their reserves are there. Very good information in my opinion. Going back over to Tezos. Whoops, that was not supposed to do that. Looking at it on the actual chart itself here, if we do a Fibonacci retracement back from its high, you can see that we're in this consolidated space. The 21 EMA, it is just below this. And what's interesting is that the 21 EMA has just recently broken below the 0.236 level. So if we can actually touch that, there's not much that we need to actually work against to get to the 0.236 level before it has a continuation on to the 0.382 level, and then having a further continuation up. But that's actually looking at it on just a little bit more of a macro perspective. Let's actually bring it down more to the scale of the range that it's in right now. So if we want to look for even more short-term perspective, I love Fibonacci retracements. You guys are going to notice that on my channel, and I actually love this because oftentimes it proves to be very, very valuable. So you can take a look here. There's a bounce off of the 0.786 level. Obviously, we'd set our highs and our lows in these positions, and then a lot of contesting going on between the 0.236 and the 0.5. When it has broken above, we see moments that dips all the way into the 0.618, and then has these retraces back. Dips above, pulls back. Dips above, pulls back into this region. Dips above, pulls all the way back. Above, all the way back. Sorry about that. I keep getting people following me on Facebook today, and I don't know what happened. Like, if they did some weird Facebook update to my group or something. I haven't even streamed over there in like a week. It's so interesting. And over here, if we break above the 0.5 level, is it going to go into the 0.618 level next? And if it does, it's really going to be finding that resistance, in my personal opinion, at the 0.786 level, so about $2.74, $2.75. If it can go above that, then you also, again, you have that 21 EMA level. It is pretty much being oversold at this point. You can see that the RSI down on the bottom right here, that it is pretty low. I mean, it's slightly coming up right now. We do see a good sized green candle so far on the daily, as you guys can see on the top left indication there. Some people that watch these videos, they don't know a lot about technical analysis. They don't know about trading view and stuff. So I like to kind of throw out a little bit of information. The RSI is relative strength index. So if this line that's on the dotted line on the top and the bottom, if it goes above that line, it's overbought. And if it goes below this line, then it's suggested to be oversold. You can have a continuation on, but relative to its more recent positions, right? So if you had 2-3 weeks, nobody was really doing anything, then that RSI can adjust itself very dramatically with any kind of a price move, because one cent transition on like a 30-cent position, right, can have a big percentage change. But if all of a sudden you get this rally and it start, 20 cents, now it's $1 and this and that, the RSI is going to be suggesting that during that run it's being overbought, but it could be establishing its foothold. And so days go by, weeks go by, the RSI now adjusts to that new position, and so that gain is actually considered the average. Just a fun little side fact to keep in mind. That's the Tezos right there. Let's go ahead and close that out. Taking a look at Bitcoin, and then we'll kind of finish off with Orchid. I like talking a lot about Orchid, and you'll see it in my videos, and I've got a lot of videos. If you're wondering why I'm so in depth with this thing, you should really check out those other videos. But long story short, big reason why I like Orchid is because of the fact it deals with the VPN space. It doesn't really have any major competition inside of this space. It's got a very strong development team. It is on reputable exchanges. It still has other exchanges that it could go on to, and a very low market capital, a very low price point right now, and I see a lot of growth potential with it. So it's a project in my heart, in my personal interest, but that's my perspective. I'm just giving you guys technical analysis on these charts and showing you what could happen up or down. And I've actually had other videos too where I say that like it looks like it's more bearish right now, and I've actually been right on these things, surprisingly. So, excuse me, sorry. You take a look at Bitcoin, and I got this green line. It's kind of cool seeing this, but it's slightly scary too, to be honest with you, because this line that I have drawn, if you've watched my previous videos and I made remarks about this, it's concerns about a possible double top. We had it back at $20,000, and then we also had it back with, $20,000 over here, and we had it also with the $14,000 here. So if it goes 20,000 for a high, then 14,000 for a high, 12,500 for a high, and we have another retracement down, and it's forming new lower highs, which I don't want to have happen in Bitcoin. But if it does happen, then we might see something like this. So it's kind of interesting to see this curve starting to take place. I don't know if it's going to tap along this line similarly, but if it does and it starts to have a retracement down, then this little on the fly pattern that I drew like a week ago, it might pull into fruition. But the hope is that I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong. I mean, the only instance that I hope that I'm right on this is if it does drop down considerably, maybe I can get one last good buy opportunity. But like, everyone's basically in the mindset for the most part, go to the moon, Bitcoin, go to $100 million, please, just go quadrillion. I want to buy a planet. You know what I mean? Forget a Lamborghini. I'm going to buy a planet of Lamborghinis. And yeah, so we're looking at it right now. It has passed above the 21 EMA, which is good news, very good news. And it's in just slightly above the medium range for the RSI. Also good news, not overbought, not oversold, but making positive gains. And you can't see it quite well over here, the technical analysis. I'll show you guys this right here. You can see that this is in the buy region right there. So that is going good on that side as well. And let's go ahead and do a quick Fibonacci retracement here based on inside of this consolidated zone. We're going to go from the high right here. What just happened to my stuff? Why did it do that? It was not supposed to do that. Because I did the wrong thing. That's why. Of course. Pull this bad boy down. And what do we got in this region? Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, a lot of fighting going on at the 0.236 level, which was at 10,500, which is making very good sense because there was a lot of people, whales-wise, that were stacking their wallets at that price and holding on with that. And a lot of people wondering if it was going to go to fill the CME gap. So we had this big consolidated space zone. Then we broke above the 21 EMA. We've got one candle that had closed above, second candle that has closed above. So it looks more bullish of a continuation rise up than bearish for it to continue down. Ideally, you want 2 to 3. If you want to be a little bit more secure with your position, looking at this, you might want to wait till a third candle stays in the positive above the 21 EMA and having a further continuation on here. Setting up stop losses if you guys are actually looking at it more of a day trader type perspective. Always play it safe. The rule of financial investing, never invest more than what you're willing to lose. Never invest more than what you're willing to lose. Really listen to me on this, please, guys. I know this sounds so exciting. Some of these projects, you're like doing the math on the calculator. I do it too. You're thinking, okay, if it does this and that's how much that could be. And then your next thing you know, oh, well, if I factor in taxes, how much could I have to pay in taxes? And then what would I do with this money? And you start planning out all your future stuff. Be careful. If you go too heavy into this, what are you going to do if it starts tanking? And you got to be prepared for those things. Having other forms of revenue, all those other things. Okay. Passes above the 0.5 level, 11,150. If we can do that, which we got just near it, almost. And started to work its way up there again, but not quite. If it can pass above that, then we got another major level resistance. You could actually see the tip of this right here, just right around 11,500. And then we're going to have continuation on 12,000 really being eyed. But the fact that we're brisking above and then pulling back a little bit, 11,000 in the immediate term, we got to show that 11,000 is going to be a form of support. Right now, it's more of a resistance. Try to get above it. Oh, we get a little bit and then we pull back down. Get a little bit above it, we pull back down. Let's get above it, stay above it, bounce down. Oh, it's good. We're going to keep going. A lot of people are wanting to buy low. So because that, anytime it starts to dip down, it immediately gets bought right back up, pushed back up. But people are probably going to start removing their limit buy orders from the low levels because they're saying, hey, I don't want to miss this boat anymore. I've got money set up already on the pre-order books for this. I'm going to take that out because I don't think it's going to do that anymore. So that removes it off the book, right? And then they replace it up here, so it establishes a new base. It doesn't just sit there. Some people will leave it, but a lot of other people will say, hey, I'm going to take it out, and now I'm going to adjust it over here. I'm willing to get less Bitcoin, but I don't want to miss it because it's establishing a new trend. Now taking a look over at Orchid. Orchid's position as previous from the high pulling down to the low here. You can see we are still below the 21 EMA. It is still in a bearish indicator format. And you can also see that it had broken down below this baseline of support, not once, not twice, technically 3 times, but then it pulled back up above it again. And so we do no longer have the same line of formation here. In fact, if we establish this a little bit more, you can even start to see that we're having a range almost right about here. It seems to be wanting to touch and pull back right around 31 cents. A couple times it pulled just slightly below, but around 31 cents is the bottom line support. If it pulls below that, you could see a further continuation down. Next level I would keep an eye out for would primarily be 26.85, then 24.58, and then going back to the ranges that it was right before. But hopefully it doesn't do that. Hopefully it continues up. And we're going to adjust this, pull this down here. Let's focus more on a short-term perspective. Take a look at it from this angle. Move that right there. Bouncing off of the 0.236 multiple times. This is a pretty good indicator. And with that in mind, that would be at 35.84. which is actually where the RSI is, the 21 EMA is as well. Right now, it's on that 0.236, similar to what we saw with Tezos, if I remember correctly. If we could break above that, boom, next level, we might be seeing around 40 cents, and then continuations on up higher. The all-time high we saw right at that dollar range, would love for it to break above that personally. Right now, short term, still looking bearish. Still looks like it could go down further. Volume, as you can see down in the bottom here, is very, very minimal. So the price gains that we're seeing right now, not much in actual volume. RSI is slightly oversold, and if it can rally, we're going to see some increases up here. We should see something major take place soon with the amount of volume that had started off at this peak, and then everything starting to drop itself off. So I would really, really keep a close eye on the amount of volume here in the next 24 to 72 hours. And then we're going to see how things adjust with that as well. I'll keep you guys updated if you guys are interested in that. And if you guys, again, are new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, please. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Don't forget to hit the like button. And I'll include that link from earlier about Tezos in the description. And drop a comment. Let me know which of this you thought was the most interesting. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.